I cannot enter.
Murdering bastard! Watch it! It's a killer!
Anyway, it'll make McCullum happy.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners. The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home. The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected. Good evening, miss.
Oh my God, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see? And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Perhaps it's wise for a mortal never to totally trust a vampire. Your mother herself told me that we Ekon are creatures of deception. Maybe it's because we seem so alive.
That may be true for a naive girl, but I have the best teacher when it comes to getting rid of an insistent immortal.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. So many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Like you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep. Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Hey, what's up?
Not much, man. So I had to cut up some lettuce and some red onions so Katie could make authentic tacos and then leave.
Alright.
Yeah, she made like a fucking... She literally came like storming in the house, threw a bunch of fucking chorizo and beef in a pan, went right to yelling at the kids like, "Get the fuck away from me, you little shit!" Isn't that funny, buddy? Yeah. That's why I was like, whoa, like, hold on a minute. I don't know if you heard that before I got off. I was like,
Good evening,
whoa, okay.
Mr.
Like,
Jonathan.
all right, dude, I'll be right back.
I can't believe my own eyes.
So I
Yeah.
went in there and
You
put
have
my
come
dick
back
down
too
where I was
late,
like,
sir.
hey, like, just because
Far
you're
too
having a
late.
crazy fucking
know.
day, everything's been real cool and
I
chill
know
here.
about Mary and
So,
my
like,
mother.
you're
I'm
the problem.
so
Knock it
sorry.
off. Make your fucking meat, I'll cut up your lettuce and your onions and get the fuck out of here and go have fun. But just don't be a shithead. So, she did. She made a bunch of tacos real quick. I cut up her lettuce and her shit, and now she's gone. Sorry. I rule the world. No fucking pussy does.
Alright,
So
well,
yeah, I see you're playing Vampire. You gonna keep rocking that, or did you want to go do these Madrazo things?
I mean, I'll get back on GTA. I don't know if I want. We can do the Madrazo ones. Yeah.
That didn't really make any sense. You put an I don't know if I want to in there, and like
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna.
I don't know. I thought those Madrazo missions were gonna be like unique, but they're just like old missions pretty much. But I haven't done
much.
all of them though, but something different.
Well, did you ever do like the Lamar Davis lowrider missions?
Nope.
Well, then we should be doing that shit. That's at least got a story.
Alright. Yeah, I gotta. I'm talking to a civilian in this, and then I gotta save, and then I'll switch over.
Dude, yeah, you're good, man. Let's go. I'm just gonna load in online. I'm gonna get in some gangster apparel since we're gonna go fucking be thugs.
Alright.
I'm gonna get a lowrider.
Dude, I just
It was
found my
duty to watch
mansion
over her.
in this game.
She
Just
left the house in
found
the middle
your
of the
mansion?
night.
Yeah.
The police said...
It's all
You
right.
didn't have to, like,
The
buy
police
it.
said her
Sign the
body was
deed.
found near your sister's grave in Whitechapel.
Was your name on the mailbox?
You're the master of the house
I
now.
didn't look, but...
I'd understand
Well, then
if
how do you know
fired
it's
me,
yours?
Well, it said Reed's mansion as soon as I walked in, like that.
Oh, and you were like, mine?
Do you need medical attention, Avery?
I won't refuse, sir. I don't feel that good these days.
So are you already a vampire, or are you
Here
awaiting?
is your prescription.
No, yeah, you
You'll
started
feel
the
better
vampire.
soon enough.
Thank you
Oh,
very
you don't,
much,
like,
sir.
get bit by Dracula 20,000 years ago?
No.
No? Well, that's bullshit. You should take you from the beginning.
That's, you start as, like, you wake up, like, in a pile of bodies as a vampire. And then you play from there. So, yeah, it is from the beginning.
No. Somebody had to feed on him, man. Like, not drain his life's essence from him in order to make him an active vampire.
Yeah.
So who did that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what the story is.
Well, that's a pretty
I'm
weak
sorry
story.
I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir. But your support would have been appreciated.
You know what's super
Apart from
funny?
the priest and
I was like standing next to Katie,
no
helping her
one
make
else
tacos.
attended your sister's
And for every one
be
taco I
present
put in
at
her
the
pan
funeral.
for her to leave, I was putting 2 or 3 tacos on a plate in a drawer. So I have like a plate of like 40 tacos. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Alright,
I
well,
like authentic tacos with like cilantro and onion.
yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna hop out of this so I can finish this and listen to this dude. And then I'll switch over and hop in your party again.
Alright, man. It's open. I'll be here.
Alright, I'll be over in a little bit.
Alright.
Peace.
Later, man.
With you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
How was life in this house while I was away?
It was sad, sir. Miss Mary moved here in July after she lost her baby and husband. So I stayed to serve both her and your mother.
How was my mother?
Miss Reed was very frail. After Miss Mary was found dead, your mother started talking to herself. She said she was speaking to the dead. She even said that she had seen you.
How was Mary?
Miss Mary went out looking for you every night after you had written to say that you were coming back. She was sure you were alive. She'll never know she was right.
What are the arrangements for my mother's funeral?
There will be no funeral, sir. No ceremony whatsoever, because of the sanitary situation.
Where is her body then?
I'm afraid your mother's body was moved to a mass grave somewhere. I have no other information. Civil service is paralyzed, sir. London is crumbling down.
me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Do you really think I neglected my mother, Avery?
Yes.
I see. Well, please go on. Speak freely. It's not as if there is anything left to treasure in this house.
Just like your father, you always had this capacity to focus only on what interests you. It surely helped you become a great doctor, but not such a great son.
Thank you, Avery. We'll talk later.
Your bedroom is ready as always. Good night, sir.